Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for another squat and deadlift day. And a nice quick workout today. Knocked this one out in about 45 minutes. Ramped up to a heavy single on the cambered bar on the squats. For the people who've asked on that, they're like, "Well, why are you doing that? I thought you weren't going to squat." Well, no, I don't. I don't want a bar up on my back that I have to grip up high. I'm allowing my shoulders to rest so that I can focus on my benching. Now, this bar can be a little awkward. As you guys noticed, I had to re-rack it, walk it out. Very unstable bar. Hit 465 for a single, called it, went straight into deadlifts. You know, a lot of times people will ask, though, how do you warm up for deadlifts? I'm like, this is my warm up. I literally unracked those weights, racked that bar, and went over and pulled this. Hey, there was no work in between. So came in, pulled 495. Went up to 565, pulled it for a double. Pretty happy with that. Last week I did 555 for a triple. 565 for a double felt good. I felt like if I had to, I could grind out a third rep. The second one moved pretty quick, but I'm happy with it. Called it quits there. I think that's sufficient for what I want for my training response today. And went straight into my supplemental work. And what I'm doing, because again, that little bit of recovery issues and everything after an amazing 2 weeks of training, I am going to watch my volumes real closely. And I do need to be looking at, hey, what do I need to do to get a training response? And how can I progressively overload things? Right. And so here, by focusing on just really putting effort into 3 good sets, I still stayed a couple reps away from failure, and I'm managing to do 200 pounds for 10s on these belt squats without holding onto the handles. So that represents some PRs there, and I feel like that's definitely going to carry over to the squatting. I don't think it's going to take me long based upon that to be back over 500 on that cambered bar. And, once I'm back over 500 on the cambered bar, I know I just have to get the bar set correctly on my back again, and I'll be able to hit it with a straight bar. Because people do need to realize there are no advantages to the cambered bar. You should not be able to squat more with it. It's just sometimes in my case when dealing with shoulder mobility, inflammation, it's getting the bar set correctly with the straight bar. And I'm just letting all that heal up. I'm going to let all the upper back work I'm doing and rear delt work, along with the incline benching, which really stretches my chest and shoulders out. I'm going to allow that to, again, help keep my shoulders healthy, get my mobility in a good place to where when I need to do back squats with a normal power bar again or squat bar, I will be able to do so. And again, that's the idea. So again, we're just progressing and getting thicker and stronger on all the lower body stuff until then. So it all synergistically feeds in. So a lot of the stuff I'm doing on the upper body days helps with all that. I'm making sure that nothing in my upper body training is inflaming the shoulders, and I'm making sure that a lot of it is helping to create the mobility and strength that I do need to get squatting and stuff where I want it to be. And a lot of my deadlift training comes from that too, because why? The grip work and all the back work, because I'm doing 2 different types of rows every upper body workout. I'm doing them all raw. It should be carrying over to my grip training. And I do feel like right now, my lower body is not the limits on my deadlifts. I feel like the ability to grip the bar well, the ability to stabilize everything using the traps and the lats, because again, that's what stabilizes it and pulls it into place so that you can use the primary movers to move the weight. I do feel like those need a little work, and once those are sorted, my deadlift will be right back up. Above right at the 600 threshold, be back in that 620, 630, 640 range. And that's going to be the key to getting it there, is again, all that upper back strength, grip strength, those things. But I feel like the lower body is fine there. I'm strong again on the glute ham raises. We're good on the reverse hypers. So that's going to be the key to doing that. Now the glute ham raises, because I've been a little concerned with overreaching, concerned with hamstring cramping. I stopped those at 2 sets. I had 2 really good sets. I felt a ton of hamstring activation. They felt good, and I'm allowing the reverse hypers to handle any other hamstring work for the day. Keeping in mind These are not by themselves. People will see that and go, well, is that enough volume? We did heavy work at 90% or above first. That changes the nature of your muscle fiber recruitment. Those have their own stimulating effect. They have their own training response, their own small amount of hypertrophy, but they also change the nature of the following exercises that happen after those. Your performance improves, your ability to hit upper threshold motor units quicker in a set improves, so therefore you get more out of the subsequent sets. And that's a point that has to be understood when we do this sort of training, to where we do the heavy work and then we do the volume afterwards. And by heavy, we mean truly heavy. Heavy means 90% or more of your max. Okay? Not, oh, I did a 5-rep set. Well, you're not doing 5s with 90% or above your max. You're not. So that's how we're getting there. And, and so what I mean is 90% or above. If your max is 500 pounds, it means 450 or more. Okay? Very simple. Let's be very specific. So because of that, there's still a profound training response. Even if we only did one set, there may be a good training response to that after doing the heavy work. So just keeping in mind, it does change slightly the efficiency of your volume. So again, the volume is kept tame here right now, particularly because I am dealing with some axial loading, doing a squat and a deadlift first. There's a fair amount of axial loading at its own recovery to deal with. So again, we're just making this very, very efficient. And again, moving forward again. Also, I think we can see now that be dropping all the sodium and stuff out of my diet I've been doing, because again, wasn't fully happy with the way some of that was going. You see the difference a little bit in my legs now. I've dropped some of that little bit of extra water from it. My quads are starting to look a little bigger again. Now that could be that shift in water balance, and it could be just some muscle memory in the quads coming back. I think it's probably a combination of the two. Right, it's a combination of the two. And again, we're seeing that performance increase on the belt squat. And I'm at a point here where we're just pushing the posterior chain enough to get any training response, while I'm using all the belt squats to help build quads and glutes. I'm using all the rowing for my back. Those are the things that are going to bring my deadlift up further from here. So we're pushing a little more effort into those, because the other thing I run into, my posterior chain is so strong at this point relative to my recovery ability. If I push it too hard, I get cramps and all sorts of problems. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.